The tiny Cajun towns in the Louisiana bayou know when a hurricane is coming days before it reaches land. They know because their homes are already underwater. Nowadays, storms are more dangerous than ever before. Coastal land is disappearing at the astonishing rate of 1 football field every 30 minutes. So when a storm hits, nothing stands between the hurricane and these communities.
You can tell just by the water levels are higher than they used to be. We have floodgates now. We never had that when we was younger. We got our levee in Golden Meadow here that we built mostly on our own. And and we proved that it worked, you know, our levee. But you go outside that levee and it's unbelievable. The property and land, you know, they had before that's completely gone now.
We don't know what hurricane is going to come next and wipe us out. We're fortunate in this community. We're in a ring levee system with floodgates at both ends, the north and the southern end of it. If we wouldn't have that protection and close those gates, the highway right out in the front of us would be flooded.
Without these levees, this community would not exist.
No, it wouldn't.
All of the people that we've met, the blessing of...
They would be living, you saw Leeville. If Leeville had levees, it would look like Golden Meadow over here. And if Golden Meadow didn't have levees, it would look like Leeville. You know, we've lost since 1930 the size of Delaware and Rhode Island in landmass. That's mostly marsh, but also some highland, some dry land that you used to be able to live on. In fact, people used to walk from here to the lake, walk. You know, there's nothing to walk on over here unless you're Jesus, all right?
Golden Meadow on Bayou Lafourche is a sliver of land jutting out into the Gulf of Mexico, while all around it the land sinks into the sea. The salt water is creeping into the freshwater swamps, killing the marshes and cypress trees. The problem has its origins in human engineering of the Mississippi River's natural flow into the delta. The Mississippi River water used to flood out into the bayou, slowing the river's rush to the sea and dropping its load of sediments and rich alluvial soils to create new land. But since the river was tamed late last century to open a reliable navigation channel for international freight ships, 96% of the lower Mississippi Delta has been cut off from its floodplains. David Muth has been studying this phenomenon in the Jean Lafitte National Park.
Right now, almost all the water that comes down the Mississippi River is carried all the way to the edge of the continental shelf. And what that means is that all that sediment and nutrients are being dumped directly into the Gulf. If we were not so intensively managing that system, a lot of that water, a lot of that nutrient load, a lot of the sediment load would be coming out of the river farther upstream, and it would be feeding swamps and marshes like what we see here in the park. People are saying if we don't get something going within 10 years, we will probably be over a tipping point and not be able to recover at all.
Wetlands act as speed bumps for hurricanes. 3 miles can reduce a storm surge by 1 foot. The horrendous impact of hurricanes such as Katrina is made worse by the loss of these protective lands. The half-submerged bodies of abandoned cars and houses, broken like toys, attest to the terrible force of these annual tropical storms.
When you lose the wetlands, you have nothing to stop the storm. I mean, after the water gets to a certain height, the little bit marsh you have is completely covered with water. So when you get the wind from a storm, you have the same wave that you have in the Gulf of Mexico right here in our backyard, you know. So eventually you get that, and if it lasts a while, it'll eat up the levee. And plus, when the water goes down, half of the islands you had there before is completely gone, you know.
Without immediate action, Louisiana will lose up to 700 square miles over the next 50 years. Within just a few years, salt water will kill the wetlands around Golden Meadows, and the 5 generations of Cajun seafarers will be forced to abandon their homes. For now, they know that they face an annual hurricane season without the hardy cypress forests and wetlands, which were their best hope against the rage of the sea.
I just don't believe that the nation realizes the importance of our area here. I mean, we supply 1/3 of the oil of the United States comes from this area. And I just don't think that they get it. And as far as the seafood too, I mean, everywhere you go, Louisiana seafood. You see it on the menus. So we need to get the whole nation on our bandwagon, really, I guess, maybe to get something done.
Yeah.
Well, we know they're going to have a storm. Either, you know, we don't know how bad it's going to be, but we're gonna have a storm. If we get another Katrina and it would hit here like it hit New Orleans, we completely wiped out over here. You know, if they don't do something to you know, build up the coastline, well, you know, we history over here.